What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, well, we need to talk about that new keyword skill, Advance, or Blitz. Nobody really is able to decide at the moment what it is, and of course we're not going to know until BT5 starts being actually shown over here, because what we've got at the moment are translations, but we don't unfortunately have much more than that. But what we do have is a little FAQ how it works, which has been translated by the lovely folks on DigimonCardGame.fandom.com, the wiki, and that means we can take a little bit of a look at Advance, or Blitz, and exactly how it works. So the description is, Digimon with this effect can attack even if the memory gauge has passed 0 into your opponent's side. The timing for this effect is when digivolving. So essentially what we've got here is a skill whereby you digivolve up and you can attack even if it should be your opponent's turn. So Omnimon, for instance, has Advance, or I prefer Blitz if I'm honest with you, but Advance seems to be where most people are leaning. This new Omnimon's got Advance. It's a level 7 4 cost to digivolve. Now what often happens in the Digimon TCG is you basically try and leave your opponent on 1 or 2 memory, and this is a sensible thing to do because it means that your opponent really doesn't have many options in terms of doing much, because essentially as soon as they start spending any memory, it's going to go over to your turn. It's a way of keeping your opponent in check, stopping them having big turns. Well, what Advance basically says is, look, okay, fine, I am fully aware that I'm not actually going to be able to play many cards, but I can still play this and attack. And that's kind of the point here. So you've got 1 or 2 memory left. Your opponent's done a good job of trying to limit you. You play Omnimon. It should go to your opponent's turn, and it does after you attack. And that's the crucial thing here. And that is actually the first question that comes up. Okay, fine, the second. Does an attack from Advance mean I am attacking during my opponent's turn? No, it doesn't. It means you get to have an attack before the turn passes. The turn should be passing, and it will, after you've attacked. To be fair, the first question is really just a reiteration of how it works. So there are a bunch of other questions we need to look at here, and hopefully we'll have a quick run through them, and that will then clue you guys in as to exactly how Advance works. So if the memory is not at 1 or more on my opponent's side, after digivolving into a Digimon with Advance, does that mean a Digimon cannot attack? No. It means Advance is entirely irrelevant. It basically means, well, no, it's still your turn, so can you attack? Could you attack normally? That's the question. When my Digimon attacks using Advance, do I not need to suspend it? No, this is awkward wording. Basically, you still suspend. It's an attack, right? When you're attacking with Blitz, it's a regular attack, which means that if you would suspend the Digimon, you suspend the Digimon, which of course you do when you attack. That is, honestly pretty obvious. You have to suspend. When I digivolve my suspended Digimon into a Digimon with Advance, and I set the memory to 1 or more on my opponent's side, can I attack? No! Because the Digimon is suspended. The thing you need to remember about Advance, the way I want you lovely ladies and gentlemen thinking about it is a regular attack. Now, essentially, you get to attack out of turn, you get to attack when it should go to your opponent's turn, but it's still a regular attack. So that means that if you are suspended, you can't use Advance. And going to the very next question, and it's an obvious one that you've probably seen coming at this stage, I digivolved a Digimon I played this turn into a Digimon with Advance, and the memory goes to 1 or more on my opponent's side. Can I attack? No! No, you can't. Because you played the Digimon this turn, which means you wouldn't ordinarily be allowed to attack. And that's the key here. That's what's important. The question is, would you usually be able to attack, memory going to your opponent's turn notwithstanding? If you were only played this turn, you wouldn't normally attack, Blitz or Advance doesn't work. You're suspended, you can't normally attack, this doesn't work. The only thing that changes is it lets you attack before the turn would go to your opponent. That's pretty important. What if we've played a card like Forbidden Temptation, for instance? One of your opponent's Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. Now, we already know that this will essentially bypass Digivolution, i.e., if you Digivolve, you still can't attack or block until the end of the next turn. The new Digimon that has Digivolved up counts as the old one. Can you attack with advance if you've had this card played against you? Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. No! Because you wouldn't be allowed to attack normally. So if there's an effect stopping you attacking, if you are suspended, if you've been played this turn, advance will not get rid of those. Those are three things that would stop you attacking normally, and yes, they absolutely will stop you attacking even with advance. Advance doesn't get around all of these things. Advance just lets you attack before passing the turn to your opponent, but it only lets you attack if you would be able to attack normally. Now here's a cheeky one that sounds fun but was never going to work. After Digivolving a Digimon with advance, I pay for the cost of another card, and then the memory goes to one or more on my opponent's side. Then can I attack? I.e., you Digivolve up, leave yourself at one memory, then play a Gaia Force, take out one of your opponent's cards, and put them to 7 memory? No. No, that would be amazing. It would make the card way better, but we knew that was never going to work, right? In order for advance to work, it must be the cost of Digivolution that pushes it up, as in pushes the memory over to your opponent's side. It would be cool if it worked any other way, but no, that was never going to work, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what if you had an effect whereby when you attack, you unsuspended it? Could you then keep attacking with advance? No. Advance only allows one attack immediately after Digivolving. Even if that Digimon is unsuspended for any other reason, the turn is passed after the first attack because the memory is one or more on your opponent's side. I.e., it lets you attack once and then the turn passes, and even if you're unsuspended, nobody cares. It's too late. Having said that, I'm looking here on DigimonCard.dev, and the only Digimon we've got with Advance or Blitz are essentially Red Digimon and Omnimon that can evolve from Red or Blue, and there's no inheritable skill from Red or Blue Digimon that would let you unsuspend yourself when you attack. Doesn't exist yet, but I believe, to correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong about that, but this, again, it's an example of future-proofing, making sure we can't take advantage of that in the future. When I Digivolve into a Digimon with advance, and the memory is one or more on my opponent's side, however, due to other effects, the memory is put back to 0 or more on my side, can that Digimon attack using advance? No. At the time of resolving, the memory is at 0 or more on your side, so you can't use advance, it's not on your opponent's side. However, if you choose to resolve advance when the memory is at 1 or more on your opponent's side, before any when Digivolving effects gain memory, the attack from advance will still happen after the memory is back at 0 or more on your side. When my Digimon attack using advance and the memory is at 0 or more on my side due to when attacking effects gain memory, is that attack then interrupted and stopped? No. Because advance was already activated, the attack is not interrupted and stopped, even if the memory is at 0 or more on your side during the attack. So an example here would be, let's say for argument's sake, you put the memory to 1 on your opponent's side, and while attacking, you end up, you're attacking a stack, and the memory, the security card ends up being Hammer Spark, which gives you 2 memory. Well, that would then put the memory back to 1 on your side, but you resolved advance when it was 1 or more on your opponent's side. But then when the attack runs out, when the attack is over, the memory is then back to 1 on your side, so it would still be your turn. You'd be lucky, but it would absolutely work. And finally, can my Digimon with Blocker block an attack from a Digimon using Advance? Of course they can. It's an attack. Like I keep telling you, it's a regular attack, which means we treat it like any regular old attack, and any regular old attack can be blocked. I know it's weird thinking about it as a regular attack, because you're essentially attacking right before you pass it to your opponent's turn when you usually shouldn't be, but outside of that one little change, it is just a regular attack, and a lot of the rulings we've seen here start making a lot more sense when you think about it in that manner. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that is Advance and everything you need to know about it. For what it's worth, the other Digimon that have Advance are Z-Greymon, Shoutmon DX, and I believe at the moment that's basically it, other than obviously the Omnimon we've talked about. But this is a keyword skill, so I think it is extremely likely that over the next couple of sets we will see more Digimon with Advance, maybe even some that don't Digivolve from Red. Although let's not get our hopes up too much, shall we? For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think of Advance. I want to know if you think this sounds like a lot of fun. I want to know if you're excited about these Digimon, or whether it's just too confusing, or you just don't like it. Basically, whatever you want to tell me. So go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.